Got him. Ooh, that's a drippy putt. That's perfect. Yeah. I think that's pretty good if it gets the roll. Yep, we're on the green. Now sit down. I think that's brilliant. And tap in par. Like those. Welcome to a pleasantly warm and overcast morning here at Reid Golf Course. We're going to play 9 holes here off the yellow tees again. We had 2 good rounds in the last few days. Last Wednesday we had an 82, and then yesterday we had an 82 as well, 11 over par. That's actually brought our handicap down to 16.7. We lost half a shot yesterday. So we're going in the right direction. We need to try and keep things moving. I've had a challenge having a good round doing this after I played a good round the day before. So we'll see if we can hold it together for 2 rounds. Hey babe, I'm recording. See you, babe. So I struck the driver pretty well yesterday, but direction was a little bit of a challenge. So let's see if we get one down the middle here. That's perfect, right between the bunkers. A little bit of draw. Good stuff. All right, we've hit the drive just under 230, right down the middle. If we start hitting it that far, these bunkers are going to come into play on the left and right of us here. It's a pretty narrow choke. Yeah, with heavy air, humid air, and wet ground, I'm fairly happy with that drive. All right, actually, I'm very happy with that drive. All right, ball's covered in grass, which won't help, but see if we can get a good 3-wood away down here. 3-wood was working a bit better yesterday, actually a lot better, but it's still not as consistent as it used to be. Now we've hit that one really, really well though. That's going to be pretty close to the green. We're about 217 out. I've been hitting it right around 200 to 205. I forgot to hit record for some reason. We hit that 3-wood about 200 yards. We're about 20 meters from the pin. Hit a pretty poor chip, kind of thinned it a little bit. So we went past the pin, but we've got at least a putt for birdie from just a couple of inches off the green. Well, that's a bit disappointing because I've been chipping really, really well. So messing, if I could have chipped that somewhere close, we would have had a really good chance at a birdie. Still got a chance to put it in, but this will take quite the putt. It should be pretty close to straight downhill from here. So the greens were running quite slow on the practice greens. So I'm going to assume that this will do the same, and it flattens out near the pins. Yeah, it went dead straight and I hit it left. Can finally clean the grass off the ball. All right, well, we got the par, which is good. It just goes to show though that, you know, two good shots on the fairway and then mess up the chip and you're still not going to get the birdie. So, and I believe we have a middle pin. Got about 140 to the middle. I think same position as yesterday. I think it's actually about 145. Let's go with the 7-iron. I don't really want to be long. It's hit pretty well, a little left. Bounce to the right, that's on the green. That's about pin high, I think. So as I thought, the pin hasn't been moved from where it was yesterday, which means it's actually quite deep on the green for a center pin. And we're just past pin high, so that was the right club. Nice thing about this green, if you're a little bit left, there's a tendency for it to kick right onto the green. Whereas if you're a little bit right, there's a tendency to kick down into the water. So I think we're right on the crest here. So this could go either way. I'm going to go straight at the hole, just because I want to give myself the leeway. It is uphill. Oh, that was almost a birdie. That's another par. So yesterday we started out with 4 pars in a row, which was our best start on the course. Hopefully we can play it. This next hole is the most challenging one with the water on the right. Okay, so as I said, we've got water on the right. I didn't mention though, the trees on the left are almost the bigger issue. My best strategy here, I've tried a few things, seems to be to aim for the bunker on the left. And if it fades a bit, that's fine. Don't want to pull it and don't want to have a massive fade. So we're going to give it a little bit of a strong grip, but not too much. and then just rip it at that bunker. Oh, we've gone left. We've hit the trees. No idea. We'll hit a provisional in case we don't find it because we've lost a lot of balls out there. It should be good though. All right, we'll hit this old Nike ball as a provisional. I mean, I've got time to look for the ball. There's no one behind me and one guy racing away in front, so. There's still a bit left. That should be through and up on the mound. All right, well, our provisional is sitting up pretty nicely here. We were unable to find the original shot. I guess it has to have hit the tree and shot out of bounds. I'm going to play this provisionally and have a look further up, but we have, I think it's a back pin. In fact, it's certainly a back pin. We've got about 80 yards to that, which means we still need a pretty firm shot to get there. Not quite a full wedge, definitely at least 3/4. All right, we're in the middle of the green. Yeah, we got it on. All right, well, our length was actually really good on this. Just a little bit too far left. If we'd gone just a little bit to the right, it would have actually probably funneled over there to the pin as well. But all in all, not a bad shot. But we are now struggling to get a bogey. We need this just to get a bogey. All right, so it's going to go left to right and it is downhill. Once again, I think the green's still going to be relatively slow. I don't want to leave this short. Oh, it's not really breaking. Oh, there it goes. Okay, that length wasn't bad. It just didn't break as far as I thought it would. Well, a double bogey with the ball out of bounds, 3 off the tee isn't too bad. That's effectively a par off the second shot. So it seems like the pins have not been moved since yesterday, which means we have a pin way up the back on the top tier, which is about 145-ish. So another 7-iron will get there. Same 7-iron as the second hole will get us in good shape. It's not bad. It's a little to the right and a little short. Oh, actually, that's short of the green. I thought I'd hit that a bit better than that. Once again, I forgot to hit record. So we were hitting from here, very, very long shot. Debated whether to chip it or not, but didn't want to go over because that would leave us dead on this hole. And ended up breaking to the right. We hit it at the flag, turned to the right. We got it almost pin high though. It was a good length, which is the main goal here. Yeah, if we hadn't got the big right break, which I did not expect from where I was, we would have had a pretty close par putt here. But as it is, we have a chance. We're about 10 feet. Got him. Ooh, that's a drippy putt. Good par, happy with that. The 2 over through 4 is not too bad. That double bogey hurt us, but not as bad as it could have. All right, so we're on the par 4 fourth, hardest hole on the bat on this 9. A par here would feel like a birdie. So let's try and get a drive off like the first, get it nice and straight up through the middle there. It's perfect. Yeah. Okay, so we've got a middle pin about 197 yards, no wind. I think we'll use the 3-wood to be right around that length. Yeah, that'll be good. That should be on. That might even be close to the pin if it does get on. Yeah, it looks really good. So as you can see, we're just on the green. Normally the balls tend to run through. It's hard to stop on this green, but with the wet grass in front, and there is a little bit of a ridge line there, and I hit that ball a lot lower than normal. I think we hit the ridge into the soft grass and it kicked to here, but it didn't have the momentum to make it all the way up. It had the right line though, because it was curling in towards the pin. We've definitely given ourselves a chance at a par here. We're going to be putting uphill. It's a little bit left or right just because it's going across the hill, and then it will fall away on the right. So weight's going to be really important here for us to get that par that we want. That's a good weight. Just going to fade off it. Excellent lag though. We'll take that for a very, very nice par on this hole. Okay, par 3/6. We've got a front pin, which means it's just over 100 yards. It's only 110 to the middle. So we've got a pitching wedge in hand here. Try and drive one in there. It's got the length. That's not bad. Yeah, just a little short. I thought I might have been. Just a little bit of grass before the ball then. Well, this is almost exactly where I hit the ball yesterday. And I said I should have chipped it instead of putting it. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I ended up smoking the ball past the hole and then missing the ball coming back and getting a bogey here. But I think the putter is still the safer play. I just need to nestle it up there. I allowed too much for this grass in front last time. Yeah, that's pretty good. Left it below the hole. Could have been a bit closer, but still as good as a chip would have been, most likely. All right, so I believe it'll be straight uphill here. Breaks off here and then it flattens there and then it breaks down here. I'm gonna go maybe right edge. It's uphill. Got him. It's another par, guys. I think that was the right play to use the putter there. Okay, so far the only drive that hasn't gone straight was the one I was trying to fade on the third hole. See if we can keep that run going. This would be a great hole to do it on. A little right's not the end of the world, but not great. Oh, it's gone a bit left. A little bit of fade. Hit the tree. It's going to be somewhere around there. Hopefully that's good. I hit that really well, but once again pulled it a bit left. Okay, so we certainly lost a bit of distance from hitting the tree, but we did come through it. We're about 180 yards drive. It's par 5, so we've still got 274 to the green. The ball's sitting up pretty good, so I think we will hit the 3-wood. I've been trying to avoid the 3-wood when the ball's sitting down in this grass a bit. I've made that mistake too much lately, but I think we can hit the 3-wood out of here. I've noticed coming out of the rough, the balls tend not to slice as much. So I definitely want to keep it out to the right there a little because there's water on our left. All right, that's gone dead straight, a little right. I think we're okay. There's trees over there, but I think I'm either through, yeah, I think I'm into the gap. All right, so we've come up just short of the tree, which means we have these branches just overhanging on our line to the pin. I would normally hit a wedge from here. It's about 105 to the middle, which is where the pin is. I'm instead going to try and hit a low 8-iron and just hit it firmly and see if we can keep it down. We'll have to keep it back in our stance a little. I think that's pretty good if it gets the roll. Yep, we're on the green. Now sit down. I think that's brilliant. We're about less than 10 feet left of the pin. All right, we've got about 9 feet to the pin here. All right, I think we have a little bit of left to right running down that way. All right, so birdie putt. Goal here though is just to get it close. If it goes in, then great. Oh yeah, that was pretty good effort, I thought. And tap in par, like those. All right, our last real danger hole here. Only a miss hit would put us in the water. So hopefully we don't do that. Even if we fade this, we should clear the water from these yellow tees. It's going to be brilliant if it just skips the edge of that tree. That's very safe. I think we're good. All right, well, I'm very happy with that drive. We're around Yeah, 216, but it's uphill to here, so that's as good as like a 230 drive on a flatter side. We've got not a breath of wind today either, which is nice. We've got a back pin. It's 103 to the middle, 116 to the back. So we're going to try and hit a really solid pitching wedge and get it below the hole. Too high. We got to the green, but it's going to be well short. At least with 2 putts to get it up there for another par. Okay, so it probably looks a little closer from the camera angle you're looking at. We've got about 33 feet up to the pin. It's going to be uphill all the way. A little bit of right to left, I think, but not much. So we'll just try and get this close to the pin and see if we can get our 7th par for the round. Yeah, that's solid. All right, 7 pars in 8 holes. And considering our only double bogey was an out of bounds, we struck the ball really well today. Okay, last hole, longish par 4. We're looking for one more good drive. Biggest danger here is pulling it left and hitting that tree and coming up short. It's brilliant. Another good drive for the day. Well, the drive has definitely worked well today. Hit it well yesterday, but not as straight. So we've straightened it out, which is nice. We might not even need to hit a 3-wood on that second shot, which would be very pleasant. I guess I didn't hit record there, guys. Hit a 6-iron here. Pins in the front, about 155. Thought I hit what I felt like a pretty good 6-iron, but I think it may be long on the back of the green. Very hard to stop it on this green for some reason. 6-iron should have been just enough to get there, and it looks like it bounced in front and then kicked forward to the back of the green. Well, actually, maybe not. We'll see. Maybe it's just short. Okay, so we did come up just short of the green. Because I didn't have the camera on the previous shot, you missed my whole ramble about being short would be better than being off the back and all that kind of stuff. So we are just short. We've got 2 shots here to get our 8th par. We are looking at it being pretty much uphill from here. Hard to tell. Maybe a hint of left to right early, right to left at the end. We're going to go straight at the pin, try and lag it as close as we can. I'm going to putt it. We have a pretty flat bit of grass here to go over. Mainly just make sure we get it there. Left that a little shorter than I would have liked, but we got a chance. And it broke quite a bit left to right. I did not expect that. All right, I would really like to make this, but we have left ourselves 1, 2, yeah, about 10 feet. If anything, it's got to go that way. It turned because we were coming across the hill there a little bit. But up here, it's definitely a little bit of anything left to right, which is what I'm seeing. Right to left, sorry. Right to left from that angle. So I'm going just for the right edge of this hole. Definitely want to get away with a bogey here, though. Yeah, pulled it left. All right, well, we didn't get our 8th par, but we had 7, a bogey, and that's a 3 over for 9 holes. That is, I think, as good as we've done on the front 9. I think 4 over was my best before. So that finishes up a pretty great round. That felt really good. Ball striking was terrific. Only trouble was really the out of bounds on the left where we pulled it a bit left. We did pull one other one left, but that didn't hurt us too badly. Yeah, we've hit some good approach shots, putted pretty solidly. Left that last one short, which was disappointing. I should have hit it a bit firmer because I was going over a little bit more grass on the fringe. So our handicap is, I'm not sure if I said at the start, is down to 16.7. This should bring us down a little bit more. So we'll be hopefully into the mid to low 16s after this round. So the way that works, we're doing 9 holes. We had 3 over par. And then the back 9, I believe, will be handicapped as I would normally play it. So that would be around about a 7 or 8 over. So we'd effectively be about 10 over par, which would be a net 81. equivalent. So we'll see how it looks. I'll interject in here quickly what happens when I put the score in. After ending our score into GHIN, we've actually lost another 0.5 off our handicap. So we're now at 16.2. So this 9-hole score was treated roughly the same as me shooting an 82 on 18 holes yesterday, 11 over par. With that said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this round. It's definitely the best one I've done on camera. Please like, comment, and subscribe to help get this channel going. And we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.